Welcome to the listening show you can listen to. Listen to this. I switched to the wrong camera angle. Did you hear that? That was the sound of nobody caring. If you're watching this, great. If not, you can listen to us watching each other. Zach, I just wanted to commend you. It was a test. I'm glad you didn't say anything. You were doing a good job of listening. Good job.
Thanks. I have something special to do. I prepared a special bit for before we started, and it's because I have a big bomb to drop on you guys.
Is it a turd?
No, it's this. It's a big bomb. Just give it a second. We hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm happy about it. I don't know.
I wanted to ruin it. I was looking for a toot sound effect I could put in instead of the, but I don't have one. And I switched to the wrong picture. Oh well.
I love that.
Play it again. Just the noise. No, harder. That's too much. Do it again. Okay, if it's quieter, I know what sound I'm thinking of. It sounds like when you die in Undertale.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. No, just your heart breaks. But it's a gentle one. Yeah, right there. That's
interesting. Yeah. I was like, I don't use this thing near enough, so I should explode the news.
I don't use mine enough either, but I stopped messing with it when I realized that setting up a soundboard is work.
Yeah,
it's fun, but it's work. So
I don't envy it, even though your sound is so nice. Everything's so concise and right where you need it.
Kind of.
I wish that you could show people what it looks like, but you even take the time to like edit in the photos where the quotes come from.
I put too much work into something that no one cares about and no one's using.
No, you use it.
Okay. It's pretty though.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, welcome to Listening Show you can listen to. And we decided today is going to be topicless. We already got a head start. We rode out in the car together because, I couldn't think of a good joke. You do it for me.
We rode out together because, what's a good joke? Because we're best friends.
Hey, it got me to laugh.
Hey.
Yeah. I know it's funny because it's ridiculous. No, yeah. So we already got a head start because we were talking in the car and we were trying to think about what topic to talk about. In the meanwhile, we were just talking about anything. And I said, nah, we're on a roll right now doing topicless. We ended up talking about drama as in our drama class history. We might go into that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that door open for you. So if you want to go into that, you can't unless something else is on your mind, and just put that out there.
Nothing's on my mind in particular. Is anything on your mind in particular?
Okay.
Geez, that doesn't sound very good. No.
What's on my mind is I'm excited to, as of today, I'm off for holiday vacation for like days. It's like 10 days.
Nice.
Yeah. I finished my Christmas shopping today and I'm finished with everybody except for one person that I'm going to do tomorrow. And then I literally just get to relax and pamper myself. And because that's what Christmas is about. It's about me.
Well, that's actually true for me. Although every day of the year is Christmas for me. Not every day of the year. Christmas is all year round because I have to and want to buy the things for me whenever I want throughout the year. It's like I'm limited to. I'm a person in my life because me, of course, it'll be a sound bite. But so yeah, I can't justify why would you buy presents for yourself. If I was someone to buy presents for myself, I wouldn't do it on Christmas because I do it all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, no, we kind of talked about Christmas. I want to talk about Christmas today. We did that already.
Yeah.
But I will say that Christmas is, less than 2 weeks away.
It's like a week away, I think. I think it's tomorrow.
More than that. Yes, tomorrow and a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Tomorrow and a week is, yeah. Do you want to talk about our theater history?
I think we should just
just
do it.
We met in an improv class, and so we did theater in that way. But that was like theater in a classroom, and we were performing for each other. It was great because that was like the purest
Purest way to what's the word? Not interview. Maybe it is interview. You can interview somebody and get like, okay, what are they all about? What are they capable of? Let's see how they perform. Oh, is it? I feel like it's. I don't know if the word is interview. I'm thinking of interview.
It's like testing somebody out. It's like a sample.
Anyway,
Sample
it's
somebody.
a good. It's actually, if you want to meet somebody,
And
go
really
to
know
an
who they
improv
are.
class. Then that's a good place to do it because you can see all the. How far can they go? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you can see a lot about somebody. I saw that, like, I was like, that guy is funny. He's just a guy that like, that guy is funny. And we talked about it before. We were reminiscing about the good old days, and I told you that. You're like, really? You thought? I was like, yeah, like, that guy is funny.
I believe we were talking about what was your first impression of me, and you said my first impression of you was that guy's funny. And it shocked me. I was like, what? That's the first thing you thought?
Well, not the first thing I thought. The first thing I thought to tell you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that was the first thing. You were always very you're very quick witted.
No.
In the end.
Yeah. No. I am very quick witted.
You're very quick witted. What?
Yeah. You wait a long time.
We should say each other up for dates. Hey, my friend Zach. Just some things you should know about him. He's whatever. He's very.
He's a great listener. He's quick witted.
and we wait a long time.
What did you say?
What?
That's good.
Yeah.
So, but in this same, we're going back to our theater experience. The other things we did, the other things about that academy were that they did like plays and stuff too. And because like all the kids were doing plays, you know, we both were in improv, but then all the kids there were like, we got to do a play. They're doing a play. And it's like, oh no, I only like improv. I only came here for this. And then of course it was like, no, if only the cool people are doing it, everybody. So it was obvious, you know, okay, if the cool people are doing it, I
we
want
were
to
the
do
cool
it.
people. We had no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm joking, but who do you? I know we weren't the cool people, right?
No,
Exactly. Who?
I might have been by the end, but
I don't want to say names, but who were the cool people? The older ones, right?
yeah, there was like 6 or 7 cool people. I think by the time I got old enough, I kind of was like the threshold of the cool
you got close.
people.
I don't think I ever got close. I think you were more involved than I was. So.
You were definitely one of the funny people. People are like, oh man, that guy's cool because he's funny. You know, like in the clique group, there's the cool people because they're handsome or good looking,
which is me,
and talented.
And then there's the funny people. I'm also in that group. And then there's just the aura people, the people you want to be around. I was that group. I was the only person in that group. I was in all those groups. No, so I thought you were going with that.
No, I just mean. I mean, like, I think now cool people are included in the funny. Like, funny people are included in the cool group. If you're funny, you get to be cool too. And I think people thought you were cool.
I don't know if this matters, but I always thought like you were the funniest and you weren't in the cool group, but it didn't matter because you're the funniest.
That's probably correct. That's probably more correct. I felt cool, but that's because I just did. I don't know.
We were just too skinny and young, I think, to be cool people. Yeah.
We were skinny, yeah. That's true. We were tall. You were really tall and are, but you are just as tall as you are now. And I was like 5'9", and that was tall for a 14-year-old. And now I'm like 6'1", which is still technically tall, but that's like baby tall, you know? Like, yeah, he's tall.
It's bare minimum tall.
Yeah.
Technically 6 is minimum tall.
That's like the kind of tall that it's inconvenient to say. It's like if I had a girlfriend and they were like, describe your boyfriend, she'd be like, I don't even know if I want to waste time saying he's tall because he barely counts as tall.
Yeah, I get it.
You know? Yeah. Like, he's great. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't really cliquey group. It was a bunch of really quality
What do you mean
people.
by cliquey? You've said that a couple of times.
Like a clique, like a CLIQUE clique. Like a clique is like a group. It's a series. It's a
like,
group, a bunch of different
okay.
groups of people. Each clique, there's a cool clique, and there's a nerdy clique, and there's a math clique.
Okay.
It's like a high school thing to have cliques. I don't know if you pronounce them cliques or cliques or.
I think it's cliche. I don't know.
That sounds like a delicious food.
No, it sounds like.
Then you just sprinkle a little salt on the cliche.
It sounds like Cliche and queef mixed together for some reason.
Oh God.
Yeah,
No.
no. Cliche is not a word, and it
I
shouldn't
think it's
be.
click. I think it's
No.
click is how it's pronounced.
Anyway, let's just call it click. That sounds better than cliche. Although I do like pronouncing words wrong on purpose because it's fun. And number two, it pisses people off.
Yeah.
So I'll do that with states. I'll usually get the state wrong. So I'll say Albania or New Mexico, Unork,
Yeah.
Carolina, Colorado.
You
Yeah.
did it right. Just
Oops,
now.
I accidentally did it right. Yeah, I'll do them all wrong. But like, if I switch, whatever. Anyway,
Casness.
Kansas is fun. While it would be fun to say cliche, that one just sounds gross. So
Yeah, it does. I know it doesn't end with a sound. It's like QUE, so it's like.
Hey, do you know how to spell Nebuchadnezzar?
Oh boy. No. I know there's 2 C's in a row at some point. Maybe I actually don't know that.
Yeah, I have my eyes wide like no, and you're like no.
I don't know.
Yeah, I looked it up because I was playing Subnautica and I wanted to name a submarine Nebuchadnezzar. And I thought that sounds cool, and I realized we just watched The Matrix and there's a ship called the Nebuchadnezzar. That's probably where I got the idea. I was like, I have no idea how to spell that, so I looked it up and I was like, okay, I get it. I've always had that with words. Usually I know how to spell once I've seen it. I don't know why. I mean, obviously I've seen the word Nebuchadnezzar, but since I looked, I was like, okay.
I saw this old video where there was these kids and they showed them the word Nebuchadnezzar and they said, how would you pronounce this word? And it was like 4-year-olds or whatever. And one of the 4-year-olds was like, Ned Butt Chaz NASCAR. And I thought that was great. That's what I think of when I think of Nebuchadnezzar.
That's right. Okay. I hope I don't get it wrong, but it's correct. KENUCHAD. NEZZAR. Ding.
Wow.
I hope, unless it's wrong. But I remember the word Chad in it. Isn't that weird? Nebu,
Yeah.
like you think NEBU, Chad. Nezer is 2 vowels, so NEZZAR.
It's right before the Nezer part. It's
Chad Nezer. Nebu,
Nebuchadnezzar.
Chad, Nezer. It's weird.
Do you know how to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism?
All right, I'll try. Do you know how to spell it? Yes or no?
I think so.
I bet I could.
Do it.
ANTIDISEST.
Nope. Disestablishmentarianism.
Anti-disestablishment.
Nope. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Is that what I was spelling, or is that the word?
You said anti-disestablishmentarian. The word is anti-disestablishmentarian. It was with an N.
N?
Mm-hmm. Anti-disestablishment. It's
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was anti-disestablishment.
Yeah. The word. There's also
establishment. I didn't know that.
disestablished because it's in stab. Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't
There's
make
also
sense.
a word, pneumino-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis, and I can spell that word too.
That's good.
That's just me flexing my useless knowledge.
Scoliosis, VOLCANO. That's how you spell that word.
My favorite thing to do with little kids, like my little nephew, like when he's reading, we're teaching to read like fly, 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 and car, CAR, car. Pneumino-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Yeah.
PNEU. And then I go through
Yeah.
I don't know, just as a joke. Only my dad or somebody will laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. How did we get on long words?
I missed a step, but we were talking about how old we were or how skinny we were. So between that and Nebuchadnezzar.
Okay. Clicky. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. That wasn't a very click-y group. There wasn't, everybody was sort of included. Like, obviously there were nerdy people and they were like athletic people and whatever, but for the most part, we knew kind of a lot of people then. It was kind of a big,
I don't know if we were part of the cool group or whatever, but we weren't. Neither of us. I don't think either of us were ever number one. If that makes sense. Neither of us were ever the star. We knew who the stars were.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew who those people were.
Yeah. And then
he's the one who will guide us. He will make all the good jokes. He won't let us down.
He's the one
He'll
who will-
save the scene. He's the guy. We had that guy. So
yeah, we had a few of those guys.
yeah.
But I think we weren't part of that group, but we were definitely included. And they would include us.
Well, yeah. We didn't feel excluded. This is a funny, weird thing to be talking about. But no, I don't. It's not like our star was a star not just because they were the best, but because they were the best. How to put this? we never felt excluded, kind of like you were saying.
Yeah,
they
they
always
included
included us
me.
in everything, and so we were happy that they were the star. You know, you deserve to be for all the reasons.
Yeah. Our high school we got pretty lucky that there wasn't like a ton of bullying or things like that going on at high schools. I don't have much high school experience because I was mostly homeschooled. So, but yeah, our first play we did right after, our first improv class, and it was a timepiece called Ecclesia, and it was about like when Paul went to. Was it Athens that he went to or Rome?
I don't know, but I just thought of a story, and I kind of want to tell it in case I forget. I don't think I'll forget, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna.
You can if you want.
Yeah, you can go. Sorry, you can finish telling what Ecclesia was if you want. But I played a character called Luke, not important in the story, and I guess
Luke from the Bible, who wrote the book.
he's not important.
Yeah,
No,
he wrote 2 books, right? Luke. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
remember one. Anyway, I played Luke. I shouldn't have started with that. Whatever. I was walking out Chipotle maybe a couple weeks ago. This guy goes, Walter. And I'm like, yeah. I just assumed he knew me from YouTube. And he goes, what did he say? Do you remember that play Ecclesia where there was a boy on your lap for a scene? And I go, are you him? He goes, yeah, because he was like my height. And he's like, I was the boy on your lap in the play Ecclesia. I was like, oh wow,
No way.
yeah. So I didn't recognize. It looks completely different. You know, he was a little boy, now he's like full size. So I was like, that's weird. And I thought, like, how would you recognize it? Oh, because I probably looked like the same. But
More
that
or
was,
less.
so I was like, wow, that's crazy. So we talked for like a couple minutes, and it was,
Wow. How
Yeah.
about that? I wonder. I wish I could.
it's just interesting.
do you know
and it
who?
happened.
Do you know who his name is?
I have a guess, but I'm probably dead wrong, so I don't want to try.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, sorry. If you want to say what the Ecclesia play is, go ahead.
It was the story about when Paul and Luke and I don't know who all the apostles.
Paul and a few apostles. I think there's like 4, and
and
besides the
Mark,
protagonist.
No, Timothy, Paul. It doesn't matter. It's
matter.
actually from the Bible, but it talks about when he goes to this city and there's a demon possessed girl, and then they cast the demon out of her, and then she's all good, and then they get thrown in jail for doing that, and then, yeah, it's like this story. It's a story about that. It's all Bible-y. It's a good enough story, and it was fun to do. It was super fun. It's a musical, so there's singing, there's dancing. There's choreographed baskets in the air, spotlights and sad singing at parts and group singing at parts and mad parts and happy parts. And anyway, very musical. It was very quintessential musical. It was a good first one.
Was it our first one?
It was my first one.
Well, what I'm thinking about the other one where we
Yeah.
wore like dress shirts and top hats, and
That was the third one I did, and the second one you did, I think. I technically did one like when I was a little kid, and I remember it, but
what
for
about
this-
Pirates of Penzance? Is that separate?
That was what I did.
That's
Yeah.
one of your 3.
That was my second one I did.
Okay.
I did Pirates of Penzance next, and that was so fun. But we haven't finished talking about Ecclesia.
Yeah.
You have?
No, I'm saying like you're right. If there's more about you want to say.
I loved that play because I played guard number 1. And
is that because you could get into auditions,
Yeah.
and so you somehow picked up whatever was left? Why did you get? Was it school?
I think I got grounded.
Oh yeah.
I think I backtalked my mom, and she was like, "You can't go to your audition now." I was like, "Mom, I would think I would have got the main part." Mom."
Yeah, I remember that now.
And everybody was sad and it was also
And
kind
then-
of embarrassing.
Yeah, you were upset, and then I remember after you got guard 1, afterwards you just,
I'm gonna
be the
this.
best guard 1. Yeah.
And then they wrote me a line so I could have a line because they
A
were
message
like,
from the magistrate. I remember.
I delivered a
I
message.
remember in rehearsals, you were like, really overdoing it. And it was so funny.
A message from the magistrate. Yeah,
You like almost turned it into like an improv sketch because every time you try to make it funnier, and of course we all
I
knew.
dance onto the stage.
But then I remember on the I remember in the actual show you did it like just like you're supposed to, just pretty pedantic, and we're all like,
Yeah,
but he's funny and he could have done it like more, but he's just doing his job. And
Yeah.
so anyway, I like how you turned that around. Is this a success story?
yeah. The thing about it was that I was the only person in the whole show to not have a mic when my line came up, and so they like the director would like harp like, you have to say it really loud. And I was thinking in my mind, like, there's no way I'm not going to say it loud. I say everything loud. But there was one time when I said the line and she goes, louder. And I was like, I thought I did it pretty loud. And so I came out, I did it again. She goes, louder. And I don't know if you remember this, but I came out and eventually I just, a message from the magistrate. I just yelled it really loud. She goes, that's what I'm talking about. Everyone, wow. And they're like, everybody's cheering me on because they knew that I was like, yeah, he doesn't have a mic. That was fun. I liked that play because they had dark makeup and the eyes, like Roman guards, and they get me like freaking knee-high sandals.
Yeah, I remember the sandals. That was fun.
Love those. But they had to put them on with stage glue or whatever they call that. And it would like peel my leg hair. It would just hurt so much because you'd like stick it on there. It didn't tie like a.
I remember.
Yeah, it was. But I looked so good in that. I was like, oh man.
I was the best guard one.
I was the hottest guard. So skinny and tiny, but I had like, it was a good look. I liked that outfit. But I liked the play I was in the second time. The second play I was in, Pirates of Penzance. My outfit there was my favorite outfit of all time.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I told the director, I'm taking this home. And she's like, you cannot. Like, I thought I was like some Christian Bale guy who could just say, no, I'm taking this. And I could just take it because I played the part. She's like, no, you're not taking it. And I was like, okay, but when you don't see it in the closet, then I get to keep it, right? And she's like, if you take my clothes, I would call the police. I was like, oh, okay, I won't take it. Yeah. I love that. I was a pirate in that play. Are you done with Ecclesia?
Yeah, I guess so.
Was that the one?
Oh, no, that's a story. We were just talking about in the car, so I'll tell you later. This is the most relevant time to take it.
Yeah, tell it.
The story is called My Role in the Play. That's the punchline to the story. So after the play, they have roll call, and they have the different groups. So like the apostles, the guards, whatever, and the different sets of characters, they come out on stage, one group after the other, and then we applause for those people. So I was in a group of 4. And for some reason, on one of our showings, I decided it'd be a good idea to, instead of it running out, I ran out backwards. They ran normal. I ran backwards. Halfway on the stage as I'm running out and people are kind of applauding, I realized I can't run backwards in sandals. And I start falling. And it happened like in slow motion in my mind. But I started falling. And as I was on my back, I heard, oh, the audience like, oh, because they saw this guy just. And I thought, no. And I somehow rolled over my back and like stood up like this. And the audience went, oh. Yeah. And I was just like, I meant to do that. And then it was really funny. I was like, thank goodness, because that could have been awful. Yeah. And then afterwards, when we were talking to people who had watched it, someone said, I liked your role in the play. I was like, oh, thanks. It's really small. And he goes, no, I liked your role at the end when I was like, oh, and then I told him like, actually it was an accident. But anyway, that's my role in the play. I was so disappointed because they recorded a couple showings, but not that one. So I never got to see it. No one else got to see it afterwards. The end.
Yeah. I remember it plain as day because like people, like there was like 4 or 5 of us that knew you really well and knew you didn't do that on purpose. And I'm sure people could tell.
Some people didn't think I was telling the truth. They thought I did it on purpose. Like, no, it was an accident. I wouldn't lie about that.
Well, I went out before you because I was a less significant character. Barely. Right. I was guard 1.
They saved the lead for the end.
Right. So I was behind it when it happened. So I just see, and you stand up and do this. And when you turn around, your face was so red. You were like, I could tell you were embarrassed, but also like you played it as good as you possibly could.
Yeah. I hope the audience couldn't see that.
Do you remember, his name's Michael. Do you remember when he was the lemonade guy with the lemonade stand? Okay, we had a set where it was this marketplace and we had, if you're an extra in a play, you want to come up with your backstory to keep you involved. And one of the guys, the inside joke was that he had a medieval or an Athens, Greece time lemonade stand because he had all these pots and vases and people would come up and he'd pull you up. Yes, thank you. And you have to talk quietly because you're on stage and other conversations are happening at mics.
Yes or no? Is this the Michael that went on to be a voice actor?
I don't.
Yet, Mike. No. Yes or no? Michael who likes video games and cosplay.
No.
Okay, continue.
Anyway, and there was one of these showings, he had a bunch of old vases and stuff and on this booth, and it looked like he had things to sell, and he was in his turban and everything, and he looked the part, and all of us, I was a guard, I was walking around investigating things and pointing fingers. Well, in this scene, the main male character is getting his fortune told. And he gets a fortune he doesn't like. And so he storms off the stage. Tell me if you remember this.
Nope.
Well, when he goes and he gets his fortune, he's the biggest guy in the group. He's just a big, stocky guy. And he goes and he storms off the stage and he flips his cape around. And when he flips his cape around, he bumps the lemonade stand over, and all these vases just in the table, which is like an old cardboard box, just collapses. And I remember Michael went like really loud, and then he just kept pretending like, "Oh no, I better pick this up." Everybody was like,
So was this in rehearsal? Or
no, this was a show. I don't think he would have been on stage at this time.
I don't remember this at all.
Oh my gosh. Trevor was walking off the stage and he bumped into this table and everything fell over. A couple things broke and
so he was into it, basically.
Oh yeah, he was in character perfectly.
Yeah,
Michael played off so perfect, but we all on stage, thank goodness the scene was over. They went to black quicker than they would have.
Oh no.
We could not stop laughing because that sound he made, because it was like the slight delay of shock, and then I have to be in character.
That sounds a little familiar when you mentioned that delay.
Oh man. Yeah, right next to him was where our friend Nick was. He was the bread merchant.
Yeah, I was just thinking about him. He did that role freaking perfectly.
Brad.
And then at the end,
Brad? Yeah. Yeah.
Brad? And just
makes me happy thinking back on it.
You had the good role. Those little tiny roles that are stupid. Those are the best ones.
Yeah. It was good. That was a fun play. I'm sad still that I didn't get to audition. And I mean, it was my own fault, but what was extra embarrassing about that is I think people knew the reason I couldn't.
Yeah, I think it got around.
Yeah,
drama in our drama.
Yeah. It's like, well, Zach back talked his mom, blah blah blah. Like, oh, he's a bad kid, but he's funny. Yeah, I don't know. But my second play, what's weird is I was like 14 or 15, and I went to Mid-America Nazarene College to do some weird. I can't remember what I was doing there, but while I was there was a bunch of people lined up, and they all had like something, and they were all being really quiet, and you could tell they were going through something in their mind. And I was like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, this is auditions for Pirates this fall for the college musical showcase or whatever, the semi-annual musical that they do there." I was like, "Oh, cool. I love musicals. I just did my first one this last year." "Oh, which one?" "Oh, it's like a small arts academy. You wouldn't know what it is." I was like, "Pirates of Penzance? I've never heard of it." And they're like, "It's awesome." And one of our friends was there, and he was like, "Wait, do you have time this semester?" And I was like, "Yeah, some." He's like, "You should audition." I was like, "Right now?" And he's like, "You've got time to kill. Just come. If you've got practices of this day and this day, are you free those 2 days?" Like, "Yeah." It's like, "Then just audition." I'm like, "I'm not even in college here." He's like, "Just do it." Mm-hmm. And so I walked in and I gave him my name, and they're like, "All right, what's your prepared song?" And I was like a 14-year-old kid, so I was like, "I guess I'll sing "Oh Holy Night." So I sang "Oh Holy Night." And they're like, "Well, we don't really mean that kind of song, but it was a good voice. So could you sing like a musical song?" And so I sang, I think I sang "Luck Be a Lady." But anyway, I sang the song, and then they're like, "Prepare a monologue." And I just improvised something off the top of my head. It's like,
"Yep,
okay." And I just improvised a scene where I was mourning the loss of somebody, and they're like, "Did you make that up?" I'm like, "No, I read that." And they're like, "All right, what's your major?" I was like, "I'll be honest here, I'm like 14. I don't go here." But they said, and they laughed, and they're like, "You just did it anyway." I'm like, "I'm a brave guy. What can I say?" They're like, "You're gonna get a call from us." And so I got a call, and they're like, "All right, you got a part. You're gonna be an extra, but you can't be a main character because you don't go to school here." Uh-huh. It's like, "I'll be an extra. Can I be a pirate?" They're like, "Yes." And I was the best. It was such a fun play. We had a professional, like a professional local actor who does stuff with like Starlight Theater and everything.
Was he the lead?
No.
Whoever I'm thinking, there was a guy who everybody just loved. I can't remember. He was a main character. I think he was actually the villain.
Oh, the three main guys.
He had a big red coat. Is all I remember.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's awesome.
Was whoever he was. I remember going to play because you were in it, and he was just awesome. I'm like, I love this guy. I'm gonna go and say hi to him after the show.
Most talented people, and that aspect of life I've ever been around. Those people were like serious actors, and they were so good. I was like, I don't belong on stage with these people. There was even the guy who played the main of, if the audience is familiar with Pirates of Penzance, there's the Pirate King who you're talking about, the Pirate Captain. Then there's the main character, which is our friend Brian, who played that character. And then there was another police chief guy. So funny. He did the high pitched voice and everything.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
I remember
blah.
that.
He was so good. And he was like such a funny guy in real life. He was just so kind.
Yeah.
Anyway, and they were also patient with me. But that we had like all these stunts. We had a stunt guy who did the stunts for Pearl Harbor, the movie.
Yep.
He came and he taught us how to sword fight, and then I learned how to sword fight and stage sword fight.
Yep.
And I learned how to do all these jumps that I wouldn't be able to do. And I had a hoist at one part where I threw a guy in the air and I caught him. And I had a cartwheel on one hand at one part, and all these sword fights. I had a gunshot where I got shot, and it was perfect. I had like the slapstick goofy pirate character who was always falling on his butt. And everybody was like, you're just so lanky and skinny that you're perfect for that. And I got to wear a cool bandana. And
you had like the fake drawn on goatee beard thing.
Literally, yeah.
You were so proud.
I grew as much as I could.
Yeah.
And then the girls came up and put mascara in it, and they're like, oh yeah, you look so good. And I'm like, I do. All these college girls being like, oh, you look at you handsome with your beard. I'm like, you know it, girl. Anyway, it was fun. That was such a fun play. Do I have any stories from that? I embarrassed myself at one point because I was practicing one of the stunts where I'm doing a handstand, because there's just a goofy part where you do a handstand. And I decided I'm going to do a handstand on this bench. And I did it on the bench. The bench slipped and I fell and hit my head. And everybody was like, class stopped. And I was like, oh, darn, that was embarrassing. But yeah. So other than that, it was a great play. The next one I did with you.
Yeah, I think I did 2 there. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's all I remember. Those 2 is Ecclesia, and this one took place in the 50s. I don't remember what the play was called.
It's called The Pastor.
Yep, I think that's what it was.
Yep, and it was about
a missionary or a pastor, I guess.
Well, yeah,
goes to Russia. I know it because I was the villain?
Yeah.
See, I played the villain, right? But I don't feel like I played opposite of the lead.
No, it wasn't a big character.
Because it wasn't it wasn't a big character. Technically, I'm the villain, but really the obstacles for the protagonist enumerate to other things that are bigger than me as a villain, because I wasn't a very big part. But I was still kind of flattered that I don't even know how I got that part. I don't know, because it's not like I had a particularly good Russian accent. It was a stereotypical Russian accent that anybody can do. And I had long blonde hair, and I didn't want to cut it off. So they tried to put it in a bun and then cover the hat. You could still see I had flowing blonde hair. Like, that's not Russian. And I was growing a beard. I was so happy. And then like the last week, they said, yeah, actually, we don't want you to have any facial hair. I was like, what? I'm Russian. And I said, well, you're an officer. They don't have facial hair. I'm like, they have mustaches, right? Like, well, we decided we don't have any. And I was super disappointed. And I don't think that was the right call.
I think they got that wrong.
Because I look like a little boy, a tall, skinny boy. I did not look intimidating at all. I did not. No, the beard would help. Anyway, that was very fun. Acting opposite of, once again, Brian, I think you said, was the lead of Penzance. He was lead of this one too. I was an extra, a back dancer in one of the scenes. Was I in that same scene with you? Was it I know. Yeah, we must have been.
Yep.
Were we doing, because there were sets of dancers and I was one of 3 in a set.
I know what you're talking about. There was, okay, I can describe it if you want.
Sure.
But an observation about the main character you played is you were the only person in that play who did the accent, because you were the only person who did it convincingly enough.
Oh, that's right. That was kind of weird.
Everybody is Russian in that play, basically. It's William, is the main character William Were?
I don't know.
I can't remember his name now, but it's a good story. But anyway, yeah, you were the bad guy and you were the only one with Russian accent. Did very good job.
Which, again, I just want to stress, like, that sounds Russian to me as an ignorant American.
Yeah.
Like, to anyone who actually knows Russian dialect hadn't heard that would go, what the hell are you doing? You know?
Yeah, I
but
mean-
to ignorant people like us, of course it would pass.
Everybody in the audience was ignorant like us.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, wow, Russian accent. That's what you hear.
Wow, Russian.
Yeah. A real live
But
Russian.
yeah, I forgot I was the only person doing an accent.
At one point I asked you, I was like, are you sure you want to do it? Because you don't have to. Like nobody else is going to that extent. And you're like, oh, I got it. I got this.
I get to be the frick. I remember I was like, I'm the freaking.
help.
I'm the guy. I was a general. Like, I'd be stupid. I get an outfit. I thought I was gonna have a beard too. I was ready.
There's one part where you like slam something on the table and you yelled really loud. And I remember every time you did it, all the girls were like, because like it was good. It was like, man, that's intimidating.
Oh, are you sure they weren't like super aroused?
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Every time. Yeah.
No, one time I got to, I'm sure I got to the table, and one time I got physical. It was very fun with Brian.
You like held him up or something?
Yeah, I think all I did was hold him up. No, I threw him down at one point too. So I threw him to the floor. That was fun because I had an excuse to be loud.
Yeah, it was loud. It worked.
It was fun.
It was fun. And then I had two. We both had multiple parts.
Right.
There was like one wedding scene at the beginning where we dressed up and we had this nice dance number. It was all jazz dances.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so like the floor was like really populated with like dancing
Yeah.
couples that kind of move in between each. So it looks like a full stage. The dance I was thinking about was we were literally on an elevated platform, like 6 feet tall in the back of the stage, and there's like 3 pairs of boy.
I'll
and
tell you what
girl.
that is too. If you want.
Yeah.
So we do the wedding scene, and then there's another scene where the main character's having a dream about the wedding, kinda.
Oh.
And it's cool because it's like stylistic of like the 30s/50s. And so what they did is they like painted me up and another guy in like black and white, and they gave me a mustache like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, you were like in the leading in that dance, right?
Yep. Like we were doing this thing, and it's to add tension. It was like this sort of creepy dream.
Yeah.
And you got to be on the stage, and you had like, I don't remember if you had girls on either arm or what.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I know what the play was. I know what the dream was. It was you were like the rich bachelor, and there was me and another guy dancing with these gals, and then the gals see you walk in, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go with them." And then the whole dream is him and me and the other guy like trying to slapstick go get our girls back.
Yeah.
And it ends with both of us proposing,
I remember that.
and they're just, "Oh," but then we pick you instead or something, and you're just. It was like some
Yeah.
goofy.
Yeah.
Old
I
timey.
remember you like slapstick silent arguing and bickering and pointing and like with some other guy.
That was one of the
Yeah.
funnest scenes I ever did because I was like featured, and I got to be like the crazy, and I had the mustache.
Yeah, the mustache, man. I remember
Yeah.
that. I think I had one too.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to have a way. That's right. I had to, because if I had, I would look like the Russian guy because the face is the same. I had to cover it.
There was also the other fun thing about that play is Buzzy did it. My uncle did it with
Yeah,
us.
man, we were so freaking proud.
He was so good.
We're like, yes.
He had to open the whole play with a song, and my uncle, like he can sing, but he's not like, people don't know him as a singer. He's anyway, but he lived with us at the time, and we were doing this play, and we were like, we have every character ready, but we still don't have the old man, and we need like this old man who can sing. And I was like, Buzzy, you've got to be in this play. You've got to be the old man who can sing. He's like, I don't sing. I don't want to do it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Buzz. And we brought a couple of our gal friends over, and they Buzzy, come on, please be in it. And finally he's like, I'll come. I'll listen to the song, blah, blah, blah. And he came and he did it. And I was like, he did so good. You're a good singer. You can do it. And yeah, it came to night one. He'd never acted a day in his life.
Yeah.
He was like 30 or something at the time.
Yeah.
He was so nervous. He had to open the show with a song. His hands were shaking. I just came up to him. I just started slapping him like, you got this. Like, ooh, you're so good. He's like, I don't think I could do this, man. I'm like, dude, once the curtains open, you'll freeze and then you'll just go and you'll be fine. And he came up and he goes, what you said happened. I
Yep.
froze and then I was fine. I just did it. And we were like, yeah. We were listening from off stage.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was so
Sorry.
cool.
I gotta go there.
What?
Oh God!
That was a different play.
Yes, but it's so funny. Okay, I think I can do this without being inappropriate or naming names. It's just such a funny story between us. So there was this play. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't important, but we were all backstage while one of our cohorts was on front giving a monologue, and this is in rehearsals, and this had happened every single time. He's supposed to have a moment, I guess, where he is collapsed and broken, and he cries out for God. Yes, reverence probably a better word of what the character's supposed to be doing, and he cries out, "Oh God," or he says, "Oh yeah," cries out, "Oh God," and he goes into like a lament and a prayer. Well, we're backstage, and every time, I can't remember what the wind up was. We knew it's about to happen. The first time it happened, I don't remember what that was like, but every time since, it was freaking hilarious because we're backstage listening, and we're not allowed to laugh because potentially there's an audience there, right? But this is rehearsal, and every time it would come up, every time he just goes, "Oh God!" It's the funniest thing every time.
Okay, when you think of people in reverent prayer having like a life-changing, altering moment, you don't think of like, "Oh God!" Okay, it was the reason it was so insane is because somebody, after it happened, we all looked at each other like, "Yo," and then someone's like, "Did he get his leg shot off?" Is that what it was? And then from then on, everybody imagined that just. Oh God!
Well, every time he kept doing it, we're like, "This is how he's doing it."
Yeah.
And so it was compoundedly funny because we're back there, we're all waiting for the line. Oh God, they're all
yeah.
looking at you. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Oh man, and it was a short enough play.
It was obviously hilarious, but then we're like close to the night. We're like, oh my gosh, though, if he actually does that, like, I don't know what we're gonna do about that. And then we're all like, it wasn't ready to laugh behind the curtains this time. It was like, oh my gosh, we're on the show. He's gonna do it. Like, this is gonna be. And he goes, "Oh God," and we're like, "Hey, that was fine."
Yeah,
and we're like, "Whoa."
He did it all the way up until
all the rehearsals
first
until
show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, because it's a funny story, but like we obviously didn't want that to happen. Don't know why he did that, but he that's the thing. He wasn't trying to be funny.
No,
that was just his take.
No, yeah, right. And none of us were brave enough to like tell him you can't, like, because he was, of everybody there, probably the most shy one. And so it was like already kind of like everybody was like cheering him on that he got this main role, and he was doing a pretty good job with it overall. And so people didn't want to like criticize him and like make him go into a shell. And so all of us were sort of like, what's going to happen? Anyway.
Yeah.
You said it.
It turned out okay, but it's a funny story after the fact, man. That was, that still will come up. It's been at least 10 years. Oh God. You know what that means. And it's just good times.
It was very funny.
Did we finish going through the pastor? I think I don't remember anything else. But
yeah, that was the only show I actually had a speaking part and I got to sing in it.
What were you besides the silent dancer?
I played a character. I don't remember his name, but I played one of the prisoners.
I was gonna say, yeah, you were a prisoner.
Yeah, and I played like the main other prisoner, and so it was like when the pastor gets thrown in jail for being a pastor in Russia during the communist times. The story is basically the pastor is preaching and he's keeping his faith even though he's getting tortured constantly, and he's in hell, basically hell on earth, and he just keeps his faith and he keeps his joy. And so he's in jail, and I'm like this guy I hate God and everything, because everything is hell, which is true. But then, this pastor just keeps being faithful with this guy who's hopeless. And I was the hopeless guy.
Yeah. When I remember you were a prisoner, I think I remember that it starts off that way. At some point there's a transition where it either cuts to another set on stage with different actors, but at some point it cuts away and cuts back in one scene. And then time has elapsed in prison. And now at this point, you and other prisoners are all gathered close and listening at this point. I remember that. And like this guy was kind of like your turning point as a character.
Yep.
That's fun having all this kind of come back,
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure DVDs of these plays exist. Do I want to see them? No.
Really? You don't want to see them?
No, because no one wants to. Most people don't like seeing themselves or hearing themselves recorded. I'm one of those people. That's the only reason I don't want to see it. I'm sure I would feel with a lot of happy memories and feelings seeing it. Yeah. But it's just, I'm too cringy. I don't want to see me. You know what I mean? As soon as I come on stage and see that, I'd be like, oh, this is ruined. Oh, it's awful. That's all.
That's interesting. I'm not really I would be like, I want to see what, I wouldn't, because I don't care about my part so much. I would want to see the play and just see all these people in that time and kind of relive it.
That's all true, but
I don't know. I can speak for. I'm gonna try to speak for everybody. In general, if you have the choice in life to do a musical with good people, I would do it. Like for sure.
Yes, but only if they're good.
Yeah.
In general, if you can do things with good people, you probably should do it.
But it's one of those things that's like so hard, and you don't really realize how much work is going into it and how much practice people do to get it just right. And then you don't know the elation of getting it right and like the fear when you get it wrong and, you know, all that stuff. It's so rewarding.
Yeah. And just, you know, showing up for practice was really fun.
It was fun.
It's work, but it's fun.
There's a weird thing that I noticed, a reoccurring pattern every play I did, especially the Pirates one, where it gets to a point where like, this is not going to happen. There's like always there's one time where people mess up just enough times and there's just like people upset and frustrated and the stage director doesn't know what they're doing or whatever, you know, and there's like one day, this has happened every time where you go, how this play is not going to work.
I remember a day like that. Yeah.
And that, especially with Pirates, there was a day that we got there and then the director was like, I'm getting fired. And we were like, okay, so are we doing the play? And she goes, I don't know. We're like, I guess we're not doing it. She goes, so I guess all the practices are canceled next week. We got a call 2 weeks later that was like, hey, we rehired a different director. We're going to do the play. He wants to do it. So you're going to do it. And we were like, this is not going to work because he's going to change everything. And he changed everything. And yeah, limited time. It was crazy. And it ended up being amazing. He did such a good job. And we were like, honestly, I'm kind of glad that it ended up being the director that we got. Because that director was the one who knew the stunt guy. And, you know, got all the official good stuff.
Yeah.
That play is such
minus you.
Wow. No,
I mean, you don't even belong there. You're an underage kid who doesn't attend that college.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
He liked me because I just took the initiative and I told him up front, just so you know, I don't go here, but I auditioned and they accepted me because I wanted to do it really bad. And he's like, that's what I like. People who want to do it. And I was like, yeah, okay. I've enjoyed them so much that I've thought about going and doing musicals again because I like music.
Now, shoot, we're going to the future. But man, of course, I've thought about like how fun it would be to get into a local, preferably a local play like that again. However, I feel like the bar for me would be so much higher based on perception and my peers and that I'm an older person, I should be better at this, right? I feel that pressure, whether it's real or not. And secondly, it'd be on myself just as equally. Well, I should be better than I was 10 years ago. So am I capable of doing that good of a job? So it's kind of like, it sounds like fun, but if you're being critical, I don't know if I could do it. I want to, but like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's something's been stopping you. What's been stopping you?
Oh, time for sure.
Yeah.
Like when you get to be an adult and you have a job and everything and family and a studio and a show called The Listening Show, a show you can listen
Super
to.
Popular show.
Yeah.
You guys have probably all heard of it because 1,000 people are subscribed.
When you're a world famous YouTuber like me, it's hard to find time for those things.
Really, the
world famous.
The acting scene and plays have nothing to offer me. I have everything.
Yeah. No, but I've been thinking about it lately because it's just a fun pastime. It's an investment.
This is going to sound dumb, but you know what might make it more fun? And we've probably explored this at some point in the past 10 years, how long it's been. If we both went and auditioned for the same play, obviously more fun if you were there.
Have you auditioned for anything since those days?
I remember, actually I remember I did audition for a play and my audition went awful.
Yeah.
I wrote this monologue. I was happy with it. Remembering kind of what it was now, it wasn't that great, but it doesn't matter because when I went, I completely just froze and forgot and gave up. It was very sad. But other than that, and that was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. It was kind of after those plays.
Really?
I don't know, because the last play we did, I couldn't have been 18. I couldn't have been 18, so it was at least 10 years ago. Anyway, no. What about you? I mean, you did?
I did, yeah. I actually auditioned for a show.
Oh, that's right.
A TV show, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was locally produced, and I heard of somebody, and they were like, you used to act, right? And I was like, yeah. and I have time now because for whatever reason I had time, and I was thinking, I want to that'd be fun to audition for a show. And I was feeling confident, but I was 5 years out of any kind of acting, and I was thinking I'll just improvise because I used to be okay at improv, and I did used to be okay at improv. And they gave me a script, they sent it to me in an email, and they're like, memorize this part. And I don't know etiquette about memorizing things for auditions and things like that. You get in your mind what you're going to do and you just do it. I was like, I'm just going to make this character be what I think it is.
Yeah.
It was a pretty plain character, but I was like, I'll just be a pretty plain character, but show a little attitude or something and see if they're in for it. And so I did the audition. They're like, how about you read this other guy? And I was like, somehow the curveball of them asking me to read another guy, I just kind of...
You never had anticipated that they might do that.
I just was foolish, and I didn't even consider
I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah. So
it's like whoa, what? I never had... I could imagine if you had never thought like...
So nervous.
Yeah,
I was so nervous when I got there. I was like, man, I thought I would be really confident in everything.
Yeah.
And I just kept the whole time. This has been 5 years. I've been doing bank job, and I don't know any of these people, and I don't know any of the castmates either. Like when we were actually, that's not true because one of the guys who came in was a guy from Pirates.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was another he was one of the police officers. I was like, oh, Josiah. And he was like, I remember you.
He was like, you.
He didn't remember my name. And I was like, that's okay. Because I remember you. I was a kid, so he wouldn't remember. But anyway, I did the audition, and I left feeling that didn't feel good.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I smiled a lot, and I showed face. But then when I read the one part, I changed from being like this kind of regular guy to being kind of an angry, grouchy guy. They're like, just read this guy, and I was like, and I just read the line. I kind of just read it like this, and I just kept freezing and looking at the script again. I was trying to just act it out, and I was sitting down, and so it's kind of just...
It's really hard to make up something on the spot with words that you're just given to have to read. It's so hard.
And parts of it, I was like, I read it, and then I realized that's not the right tone, And
yeah, because you don't know. You haven't read it before, and I
I'd
hate
stop,
that.
and I'd say sorry, and I'd get out of character, and then I should have just kept going with what I had, and you could tell they're like, well, we don't have anything else for you.
Yeah.
I guess you'll hear from us. And I was thinking the whole time, I'd be shocked if they called me back and they sent me messages. Nope, you didn't get a part. It's like, and that's weird. The weird thing about it is you hear all the stories about auditions and stuff, and like the proper way to think about it is, there's just not a part for me at that time, and I will get better at auditions if I keep doing them, which is true. But when you get that letter and it's like, no, we don't want you, that's all you read into it. It's like, nope, you weren't good and we don't want you. That's all you see. So I was like, I don't want to go on any more auditions. But
how I would love to do auditions. I think it sounds like fun, minus the scary thing of the possibility of being denied, rejected, which is everyday life of being a guy. But anyway.
Yeah, right. You'd think we'd be used to it.
Like, a panel of possibly get rejected by guys. This is gonna be easy. She wasn't gonna say. I think of it as, which is kind of maybe funny for me to say because it's not like I have a lot of experience to say this is very applicable or useful. But how I always think of it is, there's no wrong way to do an audition, because if you didn't get that part, you were not meant to get that part. So you didn't fail the audition. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and objectively, that's what I think.
Maybe that makes sense now. But maybe in the moment that won't help you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's easy to say now.
That's my point exactly, is objectively I know. Eventually I'm going to get a part that they're like, actually, we really want a guy just like you to do that part. And you did great. Or did good enough even. That's good enough. And when you get the part, it's different because it's like, I could do anything because I got the part. But
only I could have done this character the way. Yeah. That's kind of an encouraging thing, but I don't know if it'll work.
Acting's one of those weird things that it's very, you tie in your own value with it, but like really kind of interweavely. And that's with, I think, dramatic people in general, is if people don't pick me, then I must not be good enough and I have to act good enough. And I don't know. I try to divorce. Obviously after, I think I told you how it went afterward. I was like, well, didn't go good, but I'm not going to make that stop me. If something else comes up, I'll audition for it. Nothing else has come up, but because I'm not really looking at there. I am really too busy for for any of that stuff. But it's like
I wouldn't know where to look, but I wish you would, and I wish I would.
That would be fun to do it together. Maybe together we could just freaking do a musical somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that it was not a musical, it was a movie. I was an extra in a movie.
That's right.
Shot locally because the writer, producer, whatever, they live here. And how did it happen? I remember it was on my motorcycle. It was September. It was at nighttime on a curb in Quick Trip, and I got a text from somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. That's just usually how it goes. And says, "Hey, you like Olin Rogers, right?" I'm like, "Yes, my favorite YouTuber." Well, he's in a movie that's shooting here. They need extras, like in however days they still need more extras. And I know you did this, blah 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 blah. Do you that's something you want to do? Like, yes, I want to show me extras. So I went and bought a suit. I didn't want to, literally just for this movie. And I shot a few extra scenes where I'm wearing a suit and I'm just standing in the back. And in the movie, I'm like right there a few times. So it's like, not like it matters, but it's like, funny how that works out. But
you should tell people the movie.
No, I don't. I like keeping these things nameless.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, as far as extras go, not a remarkable job.
Yeah. But even like,
it's funny because I had one moment where I had a chance to act. And it's a reaction shot in the audience when everyone's supposed to be like rather shocked and appalled at what this person on stage is saying and revealing to everybody. And my face is basically just this. Basically, yeah. That's basically that. I was like, what the? Like, I want to make excuses. I don't want to, but I also do. They did that take several times.
Yeah.
I should act for all of them. And I only heard part of the speech that this character was giving, so I didn't understand the context of all of it. They didn't tell us how to react. It was just my interpretation, which was not correct because it was not very good. But I was kind of whatever. Fortunately, not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But like, you have one little job, and I did not do a good job, in my own opinion. Anyway,
I was curious when because you did that a long time ago, and then somehow it got brought up that you were an extra in a movie, and I was like, I never watched that movie. I mean, frankly, because I wasn't interested in it. But I finally got to the point. I was like, I'm gonna ask you to show me where you were in those shots.
Remember that?
So we went through the movie, and you'd be like,
I was like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
no.
And then it's like, it's really quick, so we gotta pause it. But I'm right there, and then I'm right there, and that's the back of my head. And then, then you showed me this part. It's not very long.
It's not a big deal. But
yeah. It was fun. It's interesting, but it was really cool seeing Olin Rogers act.
Oh my gosh,
I like
he was wonderful, and I really got to see, because I had to see several takes, and acting is fascinating to me. I remember one take where none of them, they're all snooty. I want to pick my own girls because I heard it so many times. Mm-hmm. He did it with slight variancy each time. And I wonder with things like directing or in the case of like an audition casting call, I don't understand. In my mind, I'm there to do a job. I don't know what the director wants. So the audition, if I was in your position, and I'm not saying you should do anything differently, I just assume when they say, hey, read this other part, it's because they're thinking about the performance you just gave as it may be applied to this character. So they're expecting your plain guy you just read on this person instead. That's my guess. I wish they would express, hey, read this character who is like this.
So just to be fair to them, they did do that.
Okay.
And when they read they're like, this guy's grumpy. He's kind of gruff, and he's grumpy all the time. Blah blah blah. He's kind of ill with life. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, quickly from this to this, and so I did that fine, I'm sure. But I also don't look like a grumpy guy. So
if I was casting you, since I know you, that's one of the last things I think to do for you. I'm not saying you can't do it. Not someone like that. Because you can do whatever you want, but that is not what you are normally.
Nah, I'm not really grumpy in general, and I'm sure I could act grumpy if I was like really invested in a role and stuff. I would just change my lifestyle and be grumpy, and then I know how to do it really good because I've been doing it. But
so basically, you just start following me around for practice,
something like that. Yeah. If you could act in a musical, like okay. If Starlight put on a musical, like what music?
What's Starlight exactly? It's a
Starlight
local
Theater. It's local. I mean, right now it's kind of
Kansas
weird.
City, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're quoting Ricky Gervais. Anyway, what
So-
about if Starlight was putting on a play?
They put on plays a lot. I don't know that they're doing it right now because of the
What was your question?
pandemic, but the question is, let's say there's like 10 different plays that if I heard announced that a local company was doing a certain play, like Pirates again, I'd strongly consider it. If they did like Sleeping or Beauty and the Beast, or if they did one of those musicals that I just really love, or Sweeney Todd or something, I would really like to be in Sweeney Todd.
Actually, yeah, just because I know it, that's something I'd like to do.
Yeah, right.
But if your question is what play would it take for me to go, I want to be in that one?
Yeah,
I don't know plays, so I couldn't answer that. I'd have to just read it. Like I don't know anything about it, but I want to read it. Like, shoot, I don't know if this is the play I auditioned for, but it's the one I bombed. They're doing 2 plays. I don't think I picked this one, but one of them was about an equestrian and bestiality, and I was like, I don't really think I want to do that.
yeah.
Anyway, so if I'd have to read about it, but it's weird because you can only understand so much from like a tagline or whatever the synopsis is, because if you read the description for the movie Shawshank Redemption before it was ever a film, you go, oh, this sounds awful. This is awful. Actually, it's a freaking amazing film. It's one of the best films ever made. It has bad elements in it,
Yeah.
But that's what would have to happen. I'd literally just have to see Starlight or some local theater, like, hey, here are the plays we're having auditions for. Okay, I'm going to learn about these plays or this play and go, does this sound like something I might be interested in?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty open, I think, because I know like 10 years ago, if I was looking for a play, I would be trying to find one that I don't have to curse in or do anything sexual in, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I'm different, and I can't think of many
Now
restrictions
I'll
at
only
all.
do sexual plays. Okay, what?
No, like if I had to kiss someone,
Yeah.
I'd do it for acting.
For acting. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I'd have to read it and just see if it interests me. Because I'll do that. I'll read. I look at listings for casting calls, I guess, for films sometimes, and there are descriptions that I'll read that just turn me away from it completely, and I can't explain why. Other than that, it just sound bad, which you have to worry about those. Maybe they're not bad. Maybe it's just my interpretation. Sometimes they are objectively bad. They're grammatically not well written. Like, probably not a good production,
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I kind of deviated from your question. What about you? What plays would you, if you saw, you go, I want to do that?
I mean, obviously Hamilton. Like, if Hamilton happened locally, you just have to, you're not going to throw away a
Shrek.
shot.
If they did Shrek, I would do it. No, there is a Shrek play,
I know.
and I would do it.
Shrek the Shreksicle. No, I get it. But then I think I'd like to do Sweeney Todd. I'd like to do Pirates again. There's a lot. There's a lot of the Disney musicals I'd be like, yeah, I want to do that. Beauty and the Beast, though, I would do for sure, because there's so many fun characters to be. Like all the silverware and whatever. I want to be like freaking silverware and just dance around on the stage like a spoon. I could be fun.
I want to be Big Spoon.
There'd be all kinds of jokes about that,
In Sweeney Todd, what character would you like to be? Because I think my first thought is Alan Rickman's character.
Oh,
It's just the right amount of, he's the villain, I love villains.
Yeah.
And he has just the right amount of involvement for me. It's not like half the film, it's less than that. But when he's on, it's kind of important, I
want to be the shave of the face, trim of the beard guy. Oh my gosh. The Frenchman, the fake Frenchman, the one who's
the one who gets killed right first.
Purelli.
Borat?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Boy,
Yeah, that's
Pirelli's
actually-
miracle elixir. That'll do the trick, sir. Yes, sirree.
That's
I'd want to be
pick,
the
actually, because he's
shave of the face, trim of the beard.
that's actually a pretty good pick, because he's probably the most comedic or comical character I can think of. I mean, there's comedic elements in different characters, but I think he's not like he's explicitly comic relief or anything, but like he's got some funny mannerisms.
Oh yeah, I could play that up a bunch. Just wear the tightest pants and the
Oh my gosh, that
the
sounds like
freaking
fun.
fleece. Yeah, that character sounds the funnest.
See,
to me.
Alan Rickman's character, he's just not
Bad.
He's bad. He's grumpy. He's stern. But he's got a passionate side. It's a little vain, but anyway, it just sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun too. It's something. What's interesting about those musicals is that it sounds too stressful to me to be a lead, but but to be like an accent character is like, oh, because those are the ones that everybody loves.
Here's I may have thought about this years ago. If you, it doesn't matter what you audition for. Actually, I bet there's a good way to word this. I was gonna say, I wouldn't think to go to a play to audition for a lead right now, as I am, having not done anything for so long. Like, why would I think that I'm capable of doing that? Right? I think you're in the same boat. Right. But what if? How would you feel? I guess not. What would you do? How would you feel if you auditioned for, I don't know, not an important character? They call back and go, we want you to come back and audition for the lead. And you're like, what? Like, how would that feel? I'd be like, oh.
I'd be scared, but I'd probably do it out of courtesy.
I think two things, good and bad. First of all, well, it's great that they want me to audition for the lead because it means that's probably at least good enough in that little role that I was going for anyway. So I'm probably safe.
Yeah.
But the bad news is like, I don't, even if I got the lead at this point, I'd audition for the lead, I'd be nervous as hell. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And that's coming from, of course, you should be nervous anytime if you're holding that much responsibility, but especially in our circumstance now, after having not been in it for so long, imagine being, boom, carry this. Oh, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I was scared of leads back in the day, even though I auditioned to be the lead in The Pastor. They called me back, by the way, when that happened. They called me. I was one of the final 4 who wanted to be the pastor.
I remember that.
Yeah. Weren't you too?
No, I don't remember. I think I picked. I'm going to think for just a moment as I'm closing on the memory.
Getting water.
Okay, you're allowed. I know it went quickly. I don't remember exactly what happened. I think I picked Luke. I think I picked an apostle. I was really close. I think what happened is I picked one of those 4 side characters, and they went, read Luke. I read Luke. Whether I chose or not, they said, read Luke. I read it, and they go, okay. And then like the next day they said, you got that part. Yeah. So I got the part I went for more or less. Uh-huh. Whether it was that very one or one on the same level of, importance in the play. That went quickly.
Yeah.
But I didn't overshoot it. I knew what I wanted, what I could do. I just did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine having the confidence to go for the lead. I'd like to be there. I think I could if I tried, but I'm not.
I certainly thought I could back then when I got called back, I was like, I could actually do it. But then when I actually like saw how many lines they had to memorize and how we're like blocking, and the hard scenes like emotionally to do, and all the singing. I always
admired watching the leads work in rehearsal because like there's just so much. There's so much.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, when that happened, we got the callbacks. They called 4 guys back and 4 girls back, and it was to determine the 2 leaders. Mm-hmm. And they called me and the gal that I liked back, and so we were both like, "Oh man, what if we got to be the 2 leads?" And neither of us got it, and so we were both like, "Ah." Yeah, it was so, but it was like so exciting for us. We'd be like looking across the room, and they had us sing. We were there for probably 2 hours, like all doing different things. And they'd have us sing different parts of different songs, and then they had us do scales to see who were true tenors and who were true baritones and blah blah blah. And the lead was a true tenor, and when I sing, I'm like just underneath tenor. I can hit the notes, but it's a struggle, and especially when you're 14 and you're you can do that sometimes. Oh God, singing a song. Anyway, but I remember I hit the top note for the tenor and I hit it and I was like, oh yeah, I hit it.
Oh man.
But then they marked me down as a baritone and I was like, I must not have hit it very good.
I just remember they made me sing for some audition. It must have been Luke. What was that one?
The Pastor. You would have probably sang for that one.
I can't remember. I do remember. I I don't remember what I was saying. I know I didn't want to, but I remember that as soon as I did, their eyebrows went up like this, which is good or bad. I don't remember was this. I was like, it's funny because it's cringy and I don't know what it meant.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the part that I went for. That's right. I was like, I saw like the villain. I want to play the villain.
Yeah.
That's the best part of any play. So
Yeah.
I went for that and somehow I got it. But
They were happy to give it to you, I'm sure.
yeah.
They give you, like, when you have your application, they give you a list of all the parts and they say in hierarchical order,
Yeah.
list which parts you want the most. And so, of course, all the guys list the lead and then they list the other ones they want. And the one I ended up getting, I remember, was last on my list that I wanted. I did not want to be that guy because blah, blah, blah. But I ended up having so much
Pastor?
fun. Yeah.
The prison guard or prisoner.
I did not want to be that guy. And I know why I was that guy.
That guy got grounded for ecclesia. We shouldn't give him a higher place than the prisoner.
Yeah. I actually, because the guy who ended up getting the main character, they had done that play, the pastor play, once before.
Cheating.
And the one time before, the guy who ended up getting the main character part and was the guy that I was. And he was in that group of 4 people for the final 2. And so you could tell that, it was part of me knew that they picked him to be the lead because they couldn't make him be the same character again. And then those other 2 guys were perfect for those other 2 parts. So it was like, by default, I was like the last one in line kind of thing. And it ended up being so fun. At first I harbored some ill will. I was like, are you kidding me? I did the best.
I know you were that way.
I did not do the best. He did amazing.
Yeah. I remember you were that way with the prison guard.
I was not happy.
Sorry, with the Roman guard.
Yeah.
You were all at first, but then it quickly turned into, no, and it was great. Yeah, you were saying that, and I was thinking, regardless of what role I was playing in the play, it's just fun to be involved in that crap.
It was.
And I'm trying to think what's the difference between just being involved with people in general in any kind of activity versus being involved in a play. I'm thinking about like the downtime kind of, like you're sitting in the seats letting some other actors go through their scene. It's just fun. I don't know why. I'm sure it's not for everybody. Wouldn't say it's for everybody. You said if you have a local thing you can go to, do it. I want to be as encouraging. I just know it's not for everybody. But I mean, shoot, if you have an opportunity, why not? That's how I'd put it.
Everybody the only reason I said if you have an opportunity to do it, I only say that because I know like 5 people who are not that kind of person. I forced them to do it, like my uncle.
Yep.
And he had so much fun. He said, I am so glad. I'm never going to forget that. And I'm so proud that I did that. I'm never going to forget how proud I was that I did it.
I was proud of his beard. I knew he spent a long time growing it.
Was so big.
They sprayed it with gray and we're like, this is the best. You're going to be so good.
It was so good. But like, and everybody who was like shy people who forced themselves to audition and do it, every one of them was happy they did. Yeah. It's like, it's one of those things that just the experience and like knowing I did it is worth it. I think the reason it's so fun other than that too is because it's all these people working to do one thing and everybody's like-minded and they have different ideas about how to do it, but it's also a fun thing. It's like we're all working really hard to do a fun thing. Like it's only good. It's just a lot of time, basically. I wonder,
because I was thinking about how acting appeals to me. I was wondering how it might appeal to you, because I think it appeals to 2 big parts to me. One is the orderliness and the dependability, and there's a job to do and a role to play. I can be a peg, I should say. I have the capacity to do your job. I have that. My personality, the other half is I am a creative person.
Yeah.
So I think that acting is just a really cool combination of those things. What do you think brings you into acting?
I really think it's the people.
And the creativeness, for sure.
Creativeness and the people. I think the structure and the rigidity, it feels safe and secure, but I liked improv a lot. And I think it's because you could be creative.
I think improv fits you better. Like if you could choose, right, to do,
oh boy,
improv or an equally lengthed play. I don't know how to.
So
say you're preparing for an improv for months versus a play for months, whatever the project is, for comparable amounts of time. Would you rather do a play or improv?
So I actually have that figured out, and what I would pick, the highest in my hierarchy is a good play. If you did a good musical, like a great, like Pirates of Penzance, if I had to choose between that and improv, I'd choose that. If it was not a musical that was very fun or entertaining and things like that, I would definitely pick improv.
How about acting in a not a movie, but a film or a video of some kind where it's more structured than a play.
Oh, those are so fun. We used to do that. We should talk about that because that counts as drama. Videos we used to make.
No, that's not real videos.
Yes, they are.
The videos I made weren't real. No, I don't want to deter from what you're asking, but I also wanted to finish what I was asking, which is
what is it?
like, I'd be way more excited to do a play versus improv. It's not that I don't like drama, just like you do, or it's not that I don't like improv, just like it's not that you don't like plays, but I like the structure and the role and job and do it. I like that. I understand the free form. I think that fits your personality way better.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Here's a quick one. Far less important. That was a question I wanted to ask. But between like a play and a video production, I think that's the right way to put it. Video production. I'd rather do video production because it's even more rigid. I think.
Yeah.
I think play takes more talent, but
maybe. Yeah.
Well, for the simple reason that you kind of only get one try.
Yeah.
That's
true.
The kind of thing. If you are looking to do work in video production, it's highly looked on to have come from a theater background because then it's presumably you could get it in one shot. Kind of like you're that good. You understand? No one comes from video to play. Well, I did video. Well, this is a lot harder. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I like film more because first of all, I'm fascinated with film, but also I just like the structure. What do you think? I would take you for a play person for two reasons. The creative aspect, I think, is more there. You have more control independently, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. And more importantly, what's the word? The environment, the people, it's atmosphere. It's a better atmosphere, I think, for you in play. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, you're right about temperamentally. I think that explains it best is like temperament wise, you are a more rigid and structured person. So it makes sense that you'd pick probably highly produced and nitpicked movie where everything is very fine. And
I don't know. It's like in a film, maybe you spend 3 hours sitting quietly waiting till it's your turn to do something versus a play. You're like hanging out a little bit.
There's pretty rigid schedules for well-produced movies where it's like, what you're doing each day. You're doing this scene this day from this time to this time. Your makeup is from this time to this, you would like that. I think I would actually enjoy that too.
Oh yeah. It's not that you wouldn't. It's just which one would you like? Which one fits your personality more?
I wish that I could have done a movie and I'd know better. Maybe when you do a movie, it's like,
neither of us have done a movie.
Yeah.
But to our best guess, I mean, shoot, I would love to do a movie just to at least try it.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to do a play too. Shoot, it's all fun.
I'm not so great about when mishaps happen live. I don't think.
Dude, you can improvise that.
Yeah. But like, say for example, we're in the middle of a play and the light goes out and just nobody can see, but they can hear us still, or maybe nothing happens and then the lights just turn back on. Do you just continue the scene as it was going, or do you restart it, or I don't like that's the stuff.
You got to keep freaking going. That's the rule. It's not your job to stop. If ever you stop, it's like the director, the hands. You do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job, man.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I would worry about that.
Well, obviously, there's all kinds of bad things that can happen, like in play or film.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine, like, there are stories there's a story from the Hamilton musical that one of the gals, like, just forgot her song in the middle of it. And that seems like that's something I would do. And so when she describes it, she's like, talk about forgetting the words to a song that millions of people around the world know by heart, and you forget it when you're playing the part on stage in front of thousands of people. I was like, that sounds like something I would do. I'd find a way to make that big of a flub, and then the audience starts singing it for her, and she has to go back into it.
That's nice of them.
Right.
Honestly, that's nice of them.
I know, right? But
still feel horrible. But
man. And then in that situation, do you go back to the words when you know them?
I see it like playing a song Guitar Hero. Just get the best percentage you can. You don't stop. You miss some notes. You missed a lot of notes. You missed 100 notes, but you got 90%. You didn't stop and miss 2,000 notes and get a 50%, whatever. That's how
true.
I see it. But what do I know?
Yeah. I'm imagining like they get the wrong pitches like they do in Guitar Hero where it's like
It plays these fake noises.
but like when you're singing, if you're singing a song, it's and then back to the melody because you remembered that part. I don't know. I can't quite convey what I'm talking about.
I understand though.
Oh man, we had so much fun. I want to talk about the old videos we made for just a minute
Okay.
because it was just topicless. And
It's not now. Now it's theater and acting or something like that.
okay,
We're pretty much on topic on a single thing. We're not jumping around too much.
we talked about it for an hour. So
More than that.
yeah.
All right. So
Can I start?
Sure.
Sorry. We became friends, and what was interesting is we became friends from that class and everything, but we didn't know we'd be best friends kind of thing. And so I don't know what happened, but I asked for help moving. You came and helped me move. And then sometime after that, you said something like, I don't remember if you were asking me with help with a movie you were making, or you had just brought up something and you were like, I'm going to show you. And anyway, so one thing led to another, and I came to your house, and I was fascinated by how many movies you made and how good you were at it young. And so it's, of course, so fitting that you do that for your job now. You make movies on YouTube, but like
Movies on YouTube.
You make
videos, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you call them movies. It's
You
funny.
you were like the classic like kid who was just nerdy about making videos. You had all the like Star Wars videos, and you had a stop motion video or two. Mm-hmm. You had funny skits, and I just remember that like when I got there, we like the funny skits idea. Just like we both had so many ideas that we were just so tickled by them that we ended up having to just make some.
Over the years, we've thought of so many skits. We've written maybe some of them down, but of course, so many are lost to time.
Yeah.
But we got excited, I think, pretty quickly. Oh, we could make a skit video about this.
Yeah. And when we did the first time, we were just like, oh, so fun. We laughed so much. The first one wasn't very good. Do you remember the first one?
No, but I want to bring up one that has been lost to the ages. Some videos I've made have been deleted because I've had a couple computer crashes over the years, and I've just lost a bunch of stuff. One video was called, as one of our few skits we ever recorded, is called Big Cousin Mason.
Big Cousin.
Big Cousin.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. So Zach has a cousin who at the time was just little. Oh my gosh. It's going to suck to try to explain it. I'm not going to try to quote it verbatim. Okay. But the idea is that his little cousin is his big cousin, and he's a bully. And so this... I wish I could share it. I don't want to tell you these things. I'll just say Zach's just laying in a parking lot space.
Yeah.
Wakes up. His big cousin comes out to try to be. I'm ruining all this.
Okay.
Stuff.
So let me give just a tiny bit of context. My cousin was like 6 or 7. He was really young, and he was short for his age, but he was really smart for his age. And so he got the freaking humor perfect.
Yeah.
We were like, Mason,
say this line.
We want you to be a bully to me. I don't want you really to hit me or things, but just be just a big jerk. And he had this high pitched voice. Yeah, but it's even your goal. Yeah.
Just
and we said,
shrill yelling.
We want you to improvise. We want you to just make up things to bully me about.
Kid. Yeah, because like you're on camera.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. And I'm directing. Okay, Mason.
Yes.
You're beating him up. And now you can just argue about whatever you want. And so he made up like half of his dialogue.
Oh.
Why are you hitting me? Because you're stupid and you didn't give me your gold. Yep. It's perfect.
We just... I was
already
like
6, you dumb butt.
Yeah. That was one of the lines. We had some outtakes that we didn't...
I don't want to talk about this video for too long. I'm sorry. I just really wish we could share it. It was bad. But man, if the way I remember it, it would hold up today. It would be entertaining, and it's too bad it's gone.
Yeah, he was so tiny compared to me that it was so funny. There's a scene where he's beating me up on the concrete, and you added punch sound effects, but he's clearly not hitting me. We said, "Don't hit me, just swing a bunch," and he's missing. But you're stupid. It was so funny. And then I'm going, "Stop! What do you want?" And that's when he improvised the line, "You're gold."
Oh my gosh.
And we both, like, I kept because we were doing it
Yeah.
shot by shot.
Yeah.
And when he said, "You're gold," and I'm sitting there after, flailing about on the ground like I'm getting hit. And I know I cannot laugh because this shot has to be kept. And I'm sitting there shaking. And I saw you behind the camera going, we were both laughing. Like, we could not hold in the laughter because it was so funny hearing this kid be like, "I'm beating you up because you have gold." It was like, oh, the perfect
It was a
6-year-old.
bad video, but I was proud of it. I'm very bummed it's gone. The punchline of the name was good. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to ruin it. Like, all I know is never gonna have a chance to see it. That's why I think it's worth talking to death. But it's just not fun to listen to people take pieces out. Whatever. It was great. He was great. I'm gonna miss it.
Lost
all right.
the time.
So we didn't do many videos. We did Too Much Milk. We did end up doing that one.
Our first one was, "Can I have that cookie?" And then we did Too Much Milk.
Too Much Milk.
And then we did
New Spice.
Oh, we did do this
did
New
do New
Spice
Spice.
videos. We did 3 New Spice videos, I think.
We did 2 parody New Spice videos. We did a parody Old Spice videos, and we did a parody Geico, which was Guy for and. So Guy and Co.
Guy and Company.
Guy and Co.
Guy and Co. Could switching to Guy and Co.
And I
save
played.
you?
I don't know if you remember. We don't need to describe what the videos were. So that's not worth doing. What other actual? Because we didn't do many sketch videos at all. What other sketch? Yeah, I can't think of any others.
Fat Legs. We did Fat
Oh my
Legs
gosh,
too.
Fat Legs. That was
Our most recent one, I think.
Was that our first?
No.
Milk came
Too
first.
much. Can I have that cookie was first. We were so young when we did. It was our worst one too. But Too Much Milk was pretty funny.
Yeah,
And
Too Much Milk was all right.
Fat Legs is
Fat Legs
funny.
is stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah, we laugh at it.
I think you'd laugh. Anyone would laugh. They watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. Some people wouldn't, but it's pretty funny.
I wonder if they still exist. Maybe put them on the listening show or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, let's wait until we're famous and we're ready to open ourselves up to criticism.
Yeah.
And so that it'll hurt the most.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom said, "You guys should go have an episode on the podcast where you revisit those videos and just react to them." I was like, "Oh, we don't have the technology, but it would be fun."
That is a good idea.
Yeah. So when we had the technology to react on the computer or something, we can rewatch them and react to them and pause it and give people what we were thinking in little stories.
This part's funny because of this. And you remember how you did that? That was funny.
Oh my gosh.
No,
I got bit by a fly in one of them. Oh, that's a blooper. We kept
I
that.
remember.
Yeah. One of them, we had a shot in the Too Much Milk sketch where I had to walk for like 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh, so stupid.
Because we had a shot where
stupid.
Yeah, we had a shot where you see the camera fast
Why
traveling.
did I make you do that?
Oh, it was because I had to hold the camera and the tripod up like this at eye level, and I had to walk right in the middle down the street. And this whole time, keep in mind you, if anybody drives at me, I have to just stop and start over. And this whole time, you had to sit out in the middle of the street, 30 minutes, walk away, staring at the sun.
The point is, this is a long shot that's sped up, but in order to do it, someone has to travel the distance. Since I'm at the end of the shot, I mean, Zach has to be the one to use the camera, so he had to walk this distance. And I wanted it to be far enough away that it looked like, but that made you 15 minutes. So stupid. That's right. I ran out there first. Yep. I ran out there first. Like, how did I get hit? I ran, and then you make a 2-minute head start. And
yeah, and
so stupid.
The punchline of the joke, we could have ruined it too, because like the whole shot, the intent is that it zooms super far away, and then the camera, as soon as it gets to you, turn around and look at the camera like really intensely, like you heard something from miles away.
Yeah, that was
so that's the joke. So like we were talking through, like, okay, we have to do this at the right time. I want you to be this close to my face. And so I'm going to be turned around, standing, and like T-pose basically, not quite T-pose.
Because I can't see where you are behind me. When you're this far, tell me that you're this far.
Yep.
And then you count down to when you get to this far, and I'm going to turn, and you're going to stop walking, and you're going to we're plan this out, and we did it.
I'd be interested in watching that back in real time just to see that, okay, I'm about 100 yards away, which that's what I had to do. And 50 yards, okay, we're walking, I'm 10 yards behind you, turn around when I say, okay, we got 5 seconds. I don't remember how it worked, but
because there's no sound on it. It's just,
and this whole time when I'm walking for like 25 minutes it was a hot day.
It was hot.
I just remember thinking, if we mess this up and I have to do this again, I might not do this video. Like, it was just so hot.
And I remember I looked and my eyes were hurt because I was just in the sun for so long. So I turned and I had to try to be wide eyed and look at the camera. So my eyes are like pained wide open. But it worked. The shot worked. It was basically exactly what we were trying to do.
It looked perfect.
Zach laughed when he saw it on camera the first time. And I was like, okay, it worked. It's good.
It was a pretty funny little
It's
sketch.
a stupid video, but the idea was funny. I think as we go back, my timing, I guess, because I was editing it, was not optimal.
Yeah.
And humor has changed. Attention spans have gotten shorter. That wouldn't be as funny today as it would be to people 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, you'd have to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
the humor stands up. It started because I would make bowls of cereal and you would make bowls of cereal, you'd hardly put any milk in it. I'd be like, that is not enough milk. He's like, what you have is too much milk. And I'm like, no, that's not too much milk. It has to be, your cereal has to be soaked all the way through. And you're like, that's disgusting. It has to be a little crunchy. And it started from this debate and it became, we just wanted to aggravate it. Just make it huge.
Exaggerate. That's the one.
Yeah, exaggerate it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, anyway. So the joke is that I pour milk until it just spilled all over
And
the counter.
I somehow can tell from far away that someone has poured too much milk because it was our debate. It's too much milk.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, well,
because that video exists and it could be watched one day.
we should react to our old videos for people at some point when we have the technology too.
Technology?
The technology. Because we got to check it out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was so fun.
Before I move, any other old video? Because I should know this. I don't think there are any other old videos you're asking about that we did.
I know. I think we're actually forgetting one, and I just don't remember which one.
Kind of feels like it, but I don't have it. So
I'm surprised you remembered the old commercial ones.
Oh, I remembered my videos. I know of the ones I know. I have a very I was like doing this. Very good auditory memory of what they sound like. Kind of like how I can remember with my videos. I know them very well, sound wise. And
there's this video you used to have, and stop me if you don't want me to talk about it, but there was an old video. I think it was stop motion, and it had a Halo figurine, and you had text to speech.
It wasn't stop motion, but yes, I had Halo figure,
and it made me laugh so much. And I've thought about it a couple times because there's one particular line that replays in my head, sort of like lines just do. And it was like, I want to, I know what it is. To see it again or something like that. I can't remember how it goes exactly.
I want to see what happens.
Yep, that's it.
Trying to
I
talk
want
like
to see what happens.
Because he says it like twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a video we were in, but it's one of the stupid little videos.
It's one of your videos that when I came to your house. Oh, there's another interesting thing about when I first came to your house. And it was about the old Facebook button. That was so interesting to me. Do you, if people are like old. From retro, if you're old and you remember Facebook in its earliest days, you remember buttons, and it would be like
they're pictures of
old memes.
What buttons would be if you actually pinned them on. So they look like they're just pictures of mock pictures of buttons that you would pin on your chest. That's what they look like. Those are buttons, and then you share these.
Yep.
You collect in quotes them.
Yep.
Like a collection of buttons. So these could be anything. It could be memes, I guess. But this is kind of before memes were really kind of every day.
Yes, this is memes before memes. But
yeah.
But they weren't commonplace. But yeah, I remember I was really into it. I was collecting all these stickers. And every day there's like, the highest trending buttons are right there at the top. And you could just go scroll down through the highest trending ones. And there was one that was at the top of that list for the longest time. And I just remembered it was so funny to me. Is little stick man. And there's one guy who's like, hey, have you seen Bob? And then the other guy's got a knife with blood dripping down behind his back, and he's making this sort of innocent face. And it was just a cute little caricature, just with a little scene that was like, obviously you had seen what happened. It was a little dark, but it was because it was a little dark and so cute that it was funny. And people it was reshared like hundreds of thousands of times. Anyway, I got to your house and you were like, I want to show you this tattoo idea I have in my sketchbook. And you're flipping through. Yeah. And I wait, stop! You drew the sticker, or you drew the button from Facebook. And you said, yeah, I drew it. And then you moved on. I was like, wait, I want to see that. That looks just like the button from Facebook. You're like, yeah, I drew it. And then you moved on again. I was like, stop! You drew this, and did you put that on Facebook? He's like, yeah, I put it on there. I was like, it's got like hundreds of thousands of people who have sent that to people. He's like, yeah, I guess. And then you just moved on. I was like, that's like the most famous button on Facebook, and you had just drawn it. Anyway, I thought that blew my mind. I was like, he's famous.
Yeah, I that's weird. I drew that for the button. I made it. That's why I drew it.
Mm-hmm.
2 stick figures facing each other. The text is in the middle. It fits in a square, a circle. One's speaking. The other one's innocent face with a blood knife behind his back.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bob? This is the button. Whatever. I guess I forgot about it, and I didn't care either because I didn't really care about Facebook. But it's funny that you saw it and recognized it because I was.
It blows my mind to this day that you just didn't care. It was like the most shared button on Facebook. Since buttons, I bet if you still looked up "Have you seen Bob?" it would be on Google Images.
Dude, that's
it was
weird.
I'm curious now. I'm gonna look it up. Are you gonna look it up?
I guess.
Okay.
I do need to move on though. Since we moved out of videos that aren't even mine, then we moved out that are not even ours, and then we moved out of videos completely. All right, I have a question. Would you want to play a game of Would You Rather?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather play a game of Would You Rather, or would you rather play an impression game?
You said you were gonna see that joke.
Yeah, we discussed that in the car on the way here because I said that, and I was like, that's actually a good way to start this. So
I should take that question seriously. I think I'd rather play Would You Rather.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull up my.
Yes, pull up your cheat codes.
I have another list today of Would You Rather questions.
By the way, I'm guessing when I Google "Have you seen Bob?" I'm not optimistic. What do you think?
I'll look too. Why not?
No, that's cheating. Pull up your list.
Okay, it's pulled up. I have the list prepared.
Okay. All right. Well, it's loading slowly, but we're having just a bunch of one sketch of one guy, like it's a real person who's missing. So,
oh no,
yeah, not my meme. Okay, it's not
I
there.
don't see it.
All right, yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay,
all right.
I guess it doesn't exist. Maybe you should put it up
Lost
on
of the Ages. It's in my sketchbook, so it exists, but like it's not famous, so don't worry about it.
You should put it on like Instagram or something because it was cute, and I think people would remember it if they saw it.
It wasn't that funny. Apparently, people thought. It was.
Well, it's not even that it's hilarious. It's just iconic. It was like that's iconic.
It was
maybe
maybe it was today. No one would care. They go lame meme, bro.
Yeah,
no pop culture references.
It is definitely dead meme technically, but it was so interesting to me. Like that was one of my biggest mind-blowing moments before. Well, actually, you actually became famous, and that was another kind of interesting. But I was in my mind like, no, he's already famous because of this Facebook button that doesn't exist anymore.
All right, let's do some of these.
Let's do some improvisational comedy.
Let's do some improvisational comedy. No. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Give us a situation.
Would you rather have to announce to everyone around you whenever you have to fart or pee your pants daily?
And that's when I'm gonna fart.
But you have to announce it no matter if the
care.
second you get the sensation that fart's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
You don't want to pee your pants daily?
No.
What about if you can control when you pee your pants?
Well, then I would never pee my pants. Doesn't make sense.
No, you have to pee in your pants. It's like obligated.
No, I'm still gonna announce when I fart. That's no problem. That is not a problem.
I don't think I would. I think I'd pee my
without
pants
apologizing. So of course I could announce I'm going to fart.
Yeah, but what? Okay, what if
don't argue with me? Just answer the question for yourself.
But I want to actually explore it because I have some.
Explore it for yourself. Don't tell me why I'm wrong though, because I'm right.
I don't want to say you're wrong. I'm simply inferring that perhaps there are situations you're not thinking of that perhaps saying I have to fart isn't the most elegant.
Of course not, but neither's peeing your pants.
But you can pick when you pee your pants in my fantasy. It's like, all right, I'm home. We're relaxing. Work is done.
All right, I'm home.
All right, and then you just pee your pants.
Like, good point. Yeah, you are home, so
nobody's around. I can go to the shower and pee my pants. Just throw them in the wash real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, fine.
Did you answer it?
I'd rather pee my pants.
Interesting. All right. You have to answer this one first. We're taking turns answering it first.
Okay. Would you rather live one life that lasts 1,000 years or live 10 lives that last 100 years each? That's interesting.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. And I have an answer.
I have an answer too. And it's not close. I'd rather live 10 lives for 100 years each.
Same. I've fantasized about living. I'm sure most people have. Fantasized about living again, knowing everything you know, or as a baby, you have all that knowledge, just live your life differently, basically.
What if
kind of?
What if you don't get to keep your memories from the past lives?
Well, then what's the point?
The point is,
It's like prison. It's like the Matrix.
Well, you
I'd
just
rather
don't
do the
know.
1,000. No, that doesn't. That defeats the purpose for me. Then I would want to live 1,000.
Okay. I don't think I would want to because you watch a lot of people
Because you can't benefit from living over. Oh, you can't benefit from living. If you live 10 different lives and you don't remember anything about the past lives, you're a completely different person. You're not living a different life. It's a different life. I don't know.
Yeah, but I believe life is inherently cool in that if you got to do 10 of that, that'd be pretty cool too, right?
But only if I can benefit. And people and other people would benefit too.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Anyway, good
that would obviously
twist.
That would obviously be better, but I was trying to make it more of a close call.
And you made me switch on that stipulation.
Cool. Would you rather be without elbows or be without knees?
I would have to say, well, okay. I assume if I have no knees, I can't walk. Can I walk?
You could just walk like a stick.
But peg legs. Okay, so okay.
It's peg
Well,
leg.
I want to probably say shoot. Yeah, legs.
I would do arms.
Fun question.
It is fun. I think it'd be a lot easier to be able to run and stuff. And you wouldn't be able to drive any cars if your legs couldn't bend.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to drive cars if your arms couldn't bend either.
Sure you could. Just drive like this.
No, then I could make the argument that I could use my calf and toes to push those.
You'd have to hump your legs forward. But
Anyway.
then you'd press the brakes too. Oh wait, you could still wiggle your.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think you could drive with. I don't know.
That's a close one.
Would you rather have diarrhea every day for the next 3 months or be constipated every day for the next 3 months?
Oh,
that one sounds tough.
Well, you're supposed to answer first.
I do diarrhea.
Why is that?
Because I enjoy diarrhea. I think it's a good time.
You know what? That's actually a good answer. I was going to say diarrhea, and I probably still will, but I'm like, what about the ramifications of literally burning your asshole?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I don't think it can take that every day for 3 months. I think you would have actual physical damage.
That's true.
Assuming there was no physical damage, and it's just the annoying experience of diarrhea versus the annoying experience of constipation, there's no long-lasting damage, I would absolutely take diarrhea. It feels better than constipation because there's relief with diarrhea. There's no relief with constipation. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think constipation would hurt more than diarrhea would. But I did not consider the burning sensation of the butthole.
I kind of added that.
Yeah, but that's part of it. I think if you had diarrhea for a long
constipation
time,
every day too, you might have internal hemorrhaging. Like that could last to long-lasting problems too. Because I'm a doctor.
how about divorcing any externalities from it? I think I'd still pick diarrhea.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather use eye drops made of vinegar or toilet paper made with sandpaper?
I have to go with the vinegar.
Ooh, I don't like things in my eye, so I think I'd go with sandpaper.
Well,
We've had a lot of differences this time.
yeah, there is a lot of differences, but I have these. My thoughts is like, well, I can fix vinegar with water. Like after vinegar, I can fix it. Sandpaper, you can't fix that.
Yeah, but I've got a particularly taut butthole, so
Yeah, but that was my thinking. I was like, well, I can fix that. It's just like diarrhea and constipation. One has relief, one does not.
Yeah.
Like that was, I don't know.
I don't know. Something tells me that it wouldn't be that bad. Wiping your butthole with sandpaper.
Well, let's try that out. Let us
This
know.
is me secretly tucking my sandpaper roll in my back pocket. Would you rather be a clown who distracts the bull or a cowboy who rides the bull?
Rather ride the bull.
Ow. I wouldn't. I'd rather be the clown who distracts the bull. That seems like I have more control than.
You know what? I totally get that. I'm gonna think about this for just a moment.
Assuming that I'm in shape enough to get away from the bull, like a clown would be able to.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I think I take the I would take the clown for one. This is the thing that would change my mind is I don't see them getting attacked very much until after the cowboy gets kicked off, and then the clown has to stop the bull from getting the trampled cowboy. So if I'm doing my job, I don't know. I'm gonna go with clown.
I'm going with clown too, but that's only because I've seen one too many videos of mishaps.
Yeah, usually I see the rider get stomped, not the clown.
Or worse.
Yeah.
Would you rather have to go to the bathroom in a giant litter box in your house or anywhere you want, but only outside?
Anywhere you want, but only outside. 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 An So I can't use the restroom. I either have to use my litter box or I can go in public. You know what that means? Well, why wouldn't I use my litter box?
I'm assuming you have to clean your litter box too. You can't.
I don't
flush.
want to, but I also don't want to crap in a public space.
But you can crap wherever you want in public.
Like, am I allowed to?
Yeah. And this.
Oh. Okay. That's not how I was thinking about it.
The wording is technically, would you rather have to go to the bathroom in a giant litter box or anywhere outside you want? So have to go outside anywhere you want, but only outside. I'd go anywhere I want, but only outside.
Yeah, assuming that's socially acceptable. Sure, I don't care.
Even if it's not, I'd do it.
Yeah, if it's not.
I'm fearless with I'm fearless.
I don't care.
Give me the sandpaper butthole. Give me the diarrhea. I want it all. I want to poop in public too.
I want sandpaper for my diarrhea outside.
I want all three of those things at once. I want to have diarrhea for 3 months. Wipe with sandpaper.
No. Here's the sketch so far. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Whip out sandpaper. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Then you diarrhea. You squat, and it shows that you're outside, and then the camera pans out, and you're in a bullpen, and then a bull's coming out. And you can combine all this stuff, and you're like, give me all of it.
And then you died 9 times, and then for 1,000 years.
I know I forgot one, but that's all I can remember. Yeah. And then you died, you come back in 100 years.
9 times. Gosh.
All right. What's the next one?
Oh, wait. Would you rather have 500 tarantulas crawling around your house or 1,000 crickets jumping around only your room?
Oh my gosh, it's an easy one. Assuming that the tarantulas are not poisonous. I think they are, though.
No.
They're not?
People have tarantulas as pets.
Well, that doesn't mean they're not poisonous.
But they don't.
Anyway, tarantulas, because I hate crickets.
You hate crickets?
I hate them
Why?
almost as much as cockroaches. For the reason I hate cockroaches, because I grew up with them. Yeah, so
interesting.
It's a personal thing.
I don't know that I'd do that. I'd be
I
less.
hate crickets. It's a personal thing.
That'd be pretty chaotic sounding too. You just hear in your room all the time.
But that was why they were so horrible, because I couldn't sleep because there'd be one in the walls, and for some reason it's just so loud.
Oh, that's bad.
I couldn't sleep all night. Just can't. There's a cricket. I can't find it.
That's bad. You're right. That's really bad.
I wouldn't. No.
Oh. Okay, this is a weird one. Would you rather have your breath constantly smell like a bad fart or have your laugh sound like a fart? That's easy for me. I'd rather have a laugh fart. I'd laugh like a fart. I don't want bad breath.
You mean you hear a joke and you go?
Yeah, no. When you laugh, you only hear fart sound. So it's like.
That's what I meant. Like you hear a joke and you go.
Yeah.
With your face.
Like if I'm imagining.
I'd probably choose that.
I'd imagine even your laugh syllables, whatever you call those, would be accented just like.
Yeah, I would take that.
I would too. I think that'd be funny. That actually would add to the humor.
Yeah.
Group of people are laughing.
Yeah. Make them laugh. Yeah, that's what I'd pick.
Yeah, it's easy.
How many are on that list?
There's a lot. We could stop
let's
whatever.
Let's do a few more here.
Okay. Would you rather go about your normal day naked or fall asleep for a year? That's so easy for me.
That's a good question.
I think it's your turn to answer first.
So, yeah, sorry. Go to sleep for a year, or what was the other one?
Go about your normal day naked.
So you have one day where you're not allowed to wear clothes, basically.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's actually pretty easy. Well, okay, because my normal day, I'm home all day, so it's pretty easy. But let's assume I have to go out once, just to make this fair.
Okay.
Shoot, I think I'd go with the naked, because I don't want to waste my life like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was assuming I could pick the day, I'd pick that. Now it's a tough choice because I don't like if I went to work naked, I'm assuming this is the scenarios. You have to pick the day you least want to go naked. I'm assuming I have to go to work naked. Well, I'm going to lose my job. So would I rather lose a year or lose my job? I don't know what's worse.
Yeah. I'm assuming by the way that it's understood that the genie has inflicted you with this thing where you can't have clothes today. So it's not your fault, but you can be ridiculed, made fun of for it.
Can you wear a sign that says a genie?
No. But just assume everybody knows this about you. Like, he got hit with the curse where he can't have clothes for a day. He's a victim, but we're still going to like make fun of him. You're still going to be self-conscious, like all that, whatever. That's how I was thinking about it.
In general, I'd rather be naked anyway. I think that's just a truism about me. So I would pick that for almost any day. But I don't want the consequence of being naked either.
Yeah.
Would you rather always take a cold shower or sleep an hour less than you need to be fully rested?
Wow. I didn't understand any of that. What was that question?
Would you rather always take a cold shower or sleep an hour less than you need to be fully rested?
Cold shower.
Really?
Because it's well, okay. If you don't get enough sleep, your day is ruined. If you take a cold shower, it's temporary inconvenience.
I always sleep less than I need, so I would do that. That's my life anyway. I probably average 6 hours. It's not really.
So sad.
I catch up on the weekends. People make fun like, you can't catch up on sleep on the weekends.
Anyway,
I do.
But because I do it anyway is a valid reason. It works. All right, one more, and you answer first.
Oh. Would you rather always wear earmuffs or a nose plug?
That's so sad. Okay, so do these earmuffs make you unable to hear in the same way that nose plugs would make you unable to smell? Or do they just keep your ears warm?
I think these are regular earmuffs, so I don't think earmuffs are soundproof. It's just muffled sound.
They would have said earplugs, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Nose plugs or earplugs.
Earmuffs or nose plug.
I want to say earmuffs because, sorry, you're supposed to answer first. I want to say earmuffs because I can't imagine how difficult my life would be if I couldn't use my nose to breathe.
I don't use my nose anyway, so I would do that. And I need to hear. I like hearing.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Do we want to stop there? There's some other ones. Let's do 2 more.
Okay.
Would you rather have a Texas accent and live in New York or a New York accent and live in Texas?
Texas accent in New York because I'd be sticking it to them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a New York accent in Texas, I'm sorry, you should have answered first. You'd be pretentious or obnoxious, but
I'd rather have a Texas in New York too.
Yeah.
Would you rather marry a vain person or a person with a poor image?
Image as in unattractive?
No. Rather marry a person who's vain or a person who doesn't think highly of themselves is what that means.
Oh, okay. You answer first.
Huh.
I know already. I mean, I knew right away, but
well, I do too. The easy pick is to pick a person with poor image because you like to think you could reinforce that, but that's also like I'm imagining you can't cure it at all.
Oh, I'm aware I can't cure it.
I know. And vanity is a pretty big problem.
Yeah,
it's not attractive.
It really is. Yeah,
it's I don't know. It's pretty bad. Like if you couldn't console someone and they just thought they were this person who I don't know. They both seem like. Obviously, one sounds worse on initial punch, being vain, but the other one's, if it was incurable, it would be hard to be with someone who just couldn't see themselves as valuable. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
What's your pick?
I'd still pick the vain one. I would not. I'd rather.
You'd pick what?
I would not. I'd pick the poor image person. Yeah. I would not pick the vain person.
Same.
And that's kind of not. I was trying to give the other due diligence, but it's not really that close because vanity is really unattractive.
Yep.
Not my kink.
Vanity is really unattractive. It's nothing more nothing is less attractive than anybody else besides me. I was trying to get to that for a punch. I messed it up. That's not the truth.
Vanity is unattractive. That's why I never do it.
Vanity is.
It's a joke about me being.
Yeah, but I wish I could remember. I'm not going to drag it out. That's not the joke I want to make. All right. We're going to end the episode, but only because that would leave room for the next episode. So,
which we're recording right now. Welcome to the listening show.
We're starting an episode right now. Here we go. The title is episode 15 and 16, whatever. It's the 2 episodes. It's the same one. It's like 4 hours long.
What if we did that? People would be like, what the?
That's a great idea.
Thanks for sticking it with us. And it was a little scattered today, but
stick it to them.
I guess we'll just call it this one.
This is like theater or drama.
We mostly did that today.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching and or listening. Be sure to, if you want to, watch us on YouTube or check out on one of our many auditory platforms you can find listed below in our YouTube descriptions. Otherwise, you will hear us and listen to us next time. Bye.
I like your butt.